Fortnite's End Live event will take us into Chapter 6, and from the permanent return of OG to the biggest collab in this game's history, here's everything we know. December 1st is the official start date, and usually the first season always feels super long, but not this time. On February 21st, we'll head into Season 2, giving us just 10 weeks of the upcoming samurai theme. That's right, the whole map is going to be based on Japanese mythology, taking us back to traditional Japan with Masamune blades, samurai bosses, and temples. This isn't like Mega from Chapter 4 that was futuristic. Instead, leaked props show us exactly what the vibe is gonna be, and I cannot wait. There's gonna be tons of bosses on the map for us to fight, and I'm wondering if we might be able to duel them with the new mythic blades. Very interested to see how these will differ from the kinetic katanas we already have. Obviously, they won't be cyberpunk themed. What we do know is that there will be a massive forest region on the map that'll be affected by the time of day. Let me explain. This will be the first location in Battle Royale history to change at nighttime. By that, I mean in the day, there will be different animals and NPCs roaming around compared to the evening, which is pretty cool. It makes you wonder if the entire map will have a new time mechanic. In fact, some of these creatures roaming around the jungle won't be the wildlife we're used to. Chapter 6 is finally giving us some new animals like sprites. These are cat-like spirits that'll wander the map, and we'll be able to find different types like water, air, and of course, just basic ones. They all have unique voice lines and are related to shrines on the island. I'm guessing we'll have to guide these spirits back to their temple before they say goodbye. Actually kinda sad when you think about it. If I had to guess, I think these sprites will look more like foxes or kitsunes than cats. That's not all. Leakers have revealed the wetlands biome has deer sounds, which could mean these guys will be roaming during the day. We are also going to see the return of one of the best features of 2024, medallions. These have been so important to the success of Chapter 5, so it's no wonder they're coming back next season, and it looks like they're going to be massively changed. Instead of being one of the most sought after items on the map, we're going to see a smaller set of medallions that aren't as game changing. It makes sense when you learn that Epic is bringing back a canceled feature. Reality augments are making a surprise return, but according to leakers, they're gonna work differently to how we remember them. I guess the past year of experimenting behind the scenes has been successful, as they're finally reviving it. So you're probably wondering what other kinds of places we'll explore in Chapter 6. And well, despite the fact we know the theme, it doesn't mean the whole map will be traditional. Leakers have already revealed that the island will have an industrial town POI, which feels a little out of character, so maybe this is an area that'll expand as the season goes on, taking us into our next theme. Only time will tell, but we also know that there's another POI hiding in the files as we speak. It's called a trophy room, and that's all that's confirmed for now. I just gotta say, the last time we had one of those, it was full of dead superheroes, so I'll take anything less dark than that. And yes, things can get a whole lot darker. There's a way to send people into the void in Chapter 6. 2 upcoming reality augments will give you a void shield and a new version of the junk rift, which will probably summon items from this void to wipe out all of our enemies. So are we getting some kind of alternate dimension that can attack players? If so, dark but incredible. But fans are most excited for something totally different. Fortnite has officially made the announcement. This is not a drill, OG is coming back and is here to stay. Relive Battle Royale from the start and explore the OG map, collect OG loot, and relive OG seasons. Yeah, that's plural, and it's all going down on December 6th. We're starting from the very first season with the most original map you could get, and over time, Epic will update the mode to progress through every single island of Chapter 1. That means we'll get the return of classics like Neo Tilted, Season X, the volcano, all of it. Now we just gotta hope they replay the live events too. Speaking of, we don't have to wait long for our next one. It always sucks that we have to wait a whole year for a true live event, but luckily that time has come around again. The Chapter 5 finale will take us straight into the next season with a little downtime in the middle. But as for what to expect, this will be a fully fledged concert, something we haven't got to experience since Ariana Grande in Chapter 2. It's been a really long time, and it'll feature all of the rappers from Remix, most importantly Juice WRLD, who is going to lead us into the new chapter. Here's where we'll probably be introduced to the new first-person mechanic. This is going to be one of the biggest changes to Battle Royale in years, as Epic finally implemented, and honestly, it's the longest waited feature ever. Now, I don't need to tell you what first person is going to look like, because players are already getting an early look in creative mode, and all those maps can be officially published on December 11th. One day before that, we'll get the first update of Chapter 6, and it'll bring our yearly tradition for the holidays. Winterfest is coming back. Well, there are rumors that not only will we get the usual festive event for BR, but OG will give us the return of 14 Days of Fortnite, the very first version of Winterfest all the way back from 2018. So as we look beyond towards newer items, Chapter 6 is giving us the resurrection of a chaotic weapon. The quad launcher was always a pretty strange item, people either loved it or never picked it up. Now, leakers have discovered files for an updated version. Comparing it side by side with the old model, you can definitely see they are upgrading the graphics in time for a new chapter. Let's think about this for a second. Imagine if this was moddable too. I just wonder how ridiculous first person is gonna look with it. But that is nothing compared to the huge update that'll change the way you move in Fortnite. Of course, with the new chapter comes new movement, and this time around we're gonna be swinging like Spider-Man. They're adding items like chandeliers around the map we could grab onto and swing with, which is gonna be insane for zero build players. That's not all. We'll be able to rappel up and down ropes, so I'm expecting some pretty big cliffs and mountains that zero build players need this for. It might help us climb into trees in the new forest area, or you could probably jump up there with the upcoming wall running mechanic. Depending on your speed, yeah, you can run across tons of gaps. One of the most toxic additions is coming with a prone button. This is gonna turn the game into a sniper's battleground, but some people think it'll be exclusive to the open world mode. I'll get into what that is later in the video. For now, we can look forward to some insane crossovers, especially vehicles. Recently, we've been getting a ton of cars like the Porsche GT3 RS and the McLaren Senna, but now it's time for motorsports, and that's where NASCAR comes in. Thanks to a leaked employee post, we know licensed vehicles are just around the corner. Maybe you prefer original vehicles, luckily you'll be able to get a mini battle bus soon. This is already out in Rocket League, and will of course port over for free to Fortnite as an SUV. But I'm most excited for the best vehicle collab of all, cars. By that, I mean Pixar cars, because Lightning McQueen and Mater are officially coming to Fortnite next season. It will be the strangest thing to drive around in, considering they're, alive. Not sure the implications of that, but I do know it's gonna look so derpy when Vehicle Royale comes to Chapter 6. It is an actual mode Epic's developing, so if you love the Wasteland season, you're gonna be obsessed with this one. By the title, it is vehicles only. For now, it's for duos, where one player takes the wheel and the other controls the weapons. Just like Wrecked, it'll feature all the classic upgrades, from vehicle attachments to nitro and flaming hoops. And that's not all. They're introducing extra vehicle mods for this mode, letting you shoot enemies with lasers and rockets. Not the only LTM to shake up the meta in Chapter 6. While Vehicle Royale might be a permanent addition, this next one is gonna be very temporary. Fortnite is working on a game where we'll fight each other with melee weapons, from sideways scythes to kinetic blades and shockwave hammers. I'm sitting here wondering why they haven't done this sooner. Now there's a collab no one was expecting. The Marvel season is already over, but that doesn't mean they're done. Turns out Epic is taking part in a crossover with Marvel Rivals. Anyone who plays that game might be able to get Fortnite themed outfits for their favorite superheroes. It'll be hilarious, and I guess we'll find out on December 6th when it drops. For any future Disney related crossovers though, I wouldn't get your hopes up about characters like Mickey Mouse entering the shop soon. A lot of people would love to see this happen, but Epic has admitted that some characters are totally off limits for modes like Battle Royale. Kinda like how LEGO needed to have its very own family-friendly mode, some Disney skins will not be able to hold guns. For festival players, we've known who the next artist is for a while now, except the crossover is in trouble. New Jeans have been very anticipated, yet they're currently in a massive dispute with their record label, recently sending a letter threatening to terminate their contract if it isn't resolved. This could mean that New Jeans doesn't even exist in time for their collab in January. That's gotta suck. The biggest mystery of Chapter 6 will be the open world mode. This has been the largest thing Epic has been working on in secret, and fans really don't have an idea of what could be involved. Whether it's an RPG with quests, a survival game with hunger bars, or a mix of the two, it's a big gamble. If you buy the Chapter 6 Battle Pass, make sure you use code T5G to support videos like this one. Hope it's provided a lot of value to you. It's been Tommy, keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.